Hello my loves, welcome to today's reading. So today's reading is all about your love life and what is happening next in that segment of your life. Now every video that I do is an adventure. Today we have a different situation. You might have noticed that the angle of the camera is different. Yeah. I was in a countryside house recently. You've seen the change of the table too. That's because of that. And I forgot the how you would call it actually. Basically the stick that holds my camera on spot. So I had to improvise and I improvised and this is what came out of it. It's a little bit messy. I can also not see the camera, so I have no idea how the arrangement goes. It's super intuitive. This is the most intuitive reading I have done so far in both staging, arrangement, and also reading too. It's a little bit of a mess, but hope you enjoy it. Maybe it's a nice mess. Maybe you like this messy reading. Anyways, let's just get started before I blubber any more nonsense. Okay, we have 4 groups to choose from here. And I'm just going to introduce the crystals, but before I do, for those who are new to this channel or this concept of pick card readings, the way it works is that you have a couple of piles, groups, crystals to choose from, and just try to feel which of those groups draws your attention the most. It can be an explainable tingle sensation, just that your attention gets drawn to one of the piles more than the rest. It can be also that you're attracted to more than one pile. That means that there are messages for your situation in that second, third, fourth pile as well. So feel free to watch as many of the videos as you feel like you're drawn to, as many of the readings, piles that you feel like you're drawn to. And yeah, once you're done choosing a pile, you can scroll down to the comment section below or to the description box, and you will find the timestamps that correspond to your pile that you chose. By clicking that, you're going to be watching all about your love life in the nearest future, basically what's next in your love life, based on the group that you chose. That being said, let's introduce the crystals. So, group number 1, we have the rose quartz in this rough stone. Then we have group number 2 with opalite. We have group number 3 with clear quartz. And then we have group number 4 with rose quartz again, but a tumble stone. So, whichever group calls out to you, no need to rush, you can pause the video if you like to. Also try not to overthink it too much either, that usually confuses me as well when I'm choosing the pile. But yeah, until then, I'll start with group number 1. Hello group number 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose this pink quartz here, then this is your reading about your next resolutions in your romantic life, or well, generally in your love life, romantic or not. So today we're gonna be, again, intuitive. We're gonna do the readings and shuffling on the camera, that is. And yeah, we're just gonna go with the flow and see where it takes us. So, get cozy. Think of maybe even the question that you have in mind and you wanna get answered in this reading, and let's get started. Okay, so group number 1, their love life in the next couple of weeks, months, depends. Okay, so we have the Hierophant. I'm getting drawn to this one. We have the 9 of Cups. And this one. And the Devil. All right. Okay, on the back we have the 3 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. Now, what does make me think is that if you chose this pile, it could be that your relationship with this person has been going for quite a bit. But what I'm seeing here, and what's quite particular, is that, so basically on the back we have the 3 of Cups, right? And on the other side we have the 8 of Swords. And that makes me think that there has been an element of friendship, or there is, or there will be. Most likely there has been, and there is at the moment, an element of friendship in this relationship. And I do see that potentially this can develop something else. Now, with the Hierophant, when this card comes to my readings, it makes me think about either way traditionalism in any case. Like, it can also talk about like traditional way of developing a relationship, you know, step by step. It can also talk about like learning. But when this comes, it sometimes also can indicate that there's like a stage of, you know, from this learning aspect of getting like this kind of development of a sort, like this development. And also, since this is a major arcana card, it makes me think about long-term progress. So it could be that this person, you already know them them and you have been friends with them, for instance, because the friendship card there is quite strong. And one of you, because we have the Eight of Swords in the back, one of you is kind of oblivious to the other feelings, or just not sure, not getting the hints or the signs. So one of you or both of you might actually have potential feelings for one another, but you're not noticing it, or there's just some circumstances under which you don't share that information with one another, if that makes sense. Now the Nine of Cups makes me think about positive progress. Now since it's next to Hierophant, and I kind of feel this Hierophant card here being of like teaching and getting like step by step into something like a progression of a sort, the Nine of Cups next to it makes me think about like positive progression. So it is kind of like a wish coming true. So potentially you might want it to be with this person, or you might, or the other way around. And I feel like this kind of wish get granted happens. And the devil can talk about desires. So in this, potentially in this positive reading that we have so far, the devil can talk about addiction sometimes, can a little bit obsessive. It could be that one of you will have a lot of thoughts about each other. But can also indicate desire. So yes, this, you can see the scenario, I guess, right now, right? We have like this development from friendship of a sort, like kind of oblivious to one another feelings, and then we have the Nine of Cups, which is like a wish getting granted, like very positive and very uplifting energies. And it's also Cups energy. We're talking about feelings here. And next to Devil, it's kind of interesting contrast here, but I do feel like this relationship will keep on going for a long time, because this is also a major arcana card. And when the Devil comes through in this potential reading, I do associate it with mainly desire or passion, or even an element of obsession. So all of you guys are different, so take whatever resonates. But this can be an element of a little bit of like a bit of an obsession, but like, yeah, kind of like obsession, but in a positive way. Like, how should I put it in words? Kind of like thinking a lot about this person. Like this person would be occupying a lot of your thoughts. That can go both ways. I'm not quite sure whose energy that is, but it can be either both of you, or it can be one or another. So it can be you, it can be the other person. Okay, we got this out of the way. Let's see what else we can get. Now I'm just thinking which cards to get you first. I guess we're gonna go with the wisdom of the Oracle cards here. So what else can we see about this next love developing? A card that I can't even pronounce, but I'm gonna try. On the back, by the way, we have the Clean It Up and Chop Wood. It's kind of like when those two cards come, it's more of a chores routine situation. So I feel like it's kind of like a developing by the book situation of a sort, where I'm gonna explain a little bit about the energies I'm feeling here, but I feel like very peaceful and nice and positive development. So there's no like ups and downs, like sometimes there are in relationships. There's no like an element of hidden feelings is there, because I do feel like you're in a sense of a friendship situation right now. Now it could be also platonic for some of you, but since we have the devil, I kind of took it to the more of a romantic partnership, but it could be also platonic. So this could be also just it mainly, I think for the majority of you guys, this has to do with your romantic partnerships, but for others of you, it can also be about platonic connections, with the devil in this case indicating most likely still a little bit of like desire, or kind of like even adventureness in the relationship. But we'll go through it a little bit later. So here we have okay, give me strength. Serendipity, right? I think I pronounced it correctly this time. If you watch my other videos, I can never pronounce this card correctly. I don't know why. It's just one word that is very peculiar with my non-native speaking. But yeah, this makes me think about like very uplifting, very positive progress. Like again, wish getting granted. But also it makes me think about this relationship being very, very light. Like I don't feel like there's any ups and downs. I mean, every relationship has ups and downs, but I don't feel like it's going to be like, very there's some really like some toxic sometimes relationship, or like some toxic moments. There might be some heavy misunderstandings. Kind of this one feels like there's a mutual understanding, a mutual connection of a sort. I do feel most likely for a lot of you it has to do with friendships. Others, friendships are developed with an element of romance, but in any case, the friendship element here is strong, because I feel like a connection of a sort that you have with this person. Like there is an ongoing soul connection, and it feels very light, it feels very positive, it feels very nice. So for a lot of you, I think we're looking at a friendship that is ongoing right now, because I'm not getting any other messages so far. If we do see something else, of course, as usual, I'm going to go back and address it. But so far, we have what we have. Let's get you one more card. Let's see what else can we see about the situation. So group number 1, love life in the nearest future, I guess. So the thinking woman. Okay, let's see what we have in the back. The 5th chakra, which is about speaking, talking, communication, and then the healer of ages. This card, by the way, makes me always think about a healthy balance in every area of your life, because we also have number 6 that number generally makes me think about positive progress, balance in a lot of areas of your life. And the healer of ages, this card usually comes through in my readings as a card that indicates potential growth and improvement in a lot of aspects. So this can also talk about growth, about like development of a relationship in a different direction. So the thinking woman, regardless of your gender, the thinking woman, I think, has to do with I think both of you. I feel like the energy of both of you thinking about one another. One of you in particular, stronger than the other, probably having this a little bit of not obsessive, but like more of this passion aspect of this card. Kind of maybe thinking of how this can change, because looking at this butterfly, like maybe this can escalate something more, maybe this can go a little bit further. Like, you know, someone of you, I think both of you had this scenario that this can be more than friendship, but one of you in particular is thinking a lot about this aspect here. Right. I think that's kind of it. It just makes me think about that both of you think a lot about each other. It can also indicate that you're mentally connected, which is the case. As I said before, there's a mental connection here, there is a soul connection here, there's like an element here of friendship, more than just passion, you know. But the passion element is kind of like on the back of it, and that's where a lot of thoughts in regard to this might come through to one of you or both of you, but one of you thinks about it stronger than the other. Okay, let's see, what else do I get you? I'll get you the Goddess Power Oracle cards. Let's see what else can we see. I'll get you this one. And we have the adaptability. On the back we have the wisdom and the romantic love. Oh. So the wisdom, it makes me think that none of you wants to rush it too much. It's like you're... So here, it's actually such a specific reading, so I'm trying to get different scenarios, but the only information I'm getting right now is just this one. So we'll just go with that. But yeah, it makes me think that, you know, none of you wants to lose this aspect of this bonding, of this understanding, of this connection with one another. And, you know, when you step into romantic love, it's a risk in the sense that you don't want to make things awkward, perhaps. But there's this element of wisdom and kind of like appreciating one another. And because the wisdom in this case associates with appreciation with one another, with not wanting to lose, like understanding the value of one another, you know, the wisdom of how this friendship developed, this relationship developed throughout the time. For some of you, it can be that this relationship is not even that long, because I'm talking as if it's like a very long friendship. It could be that this relationship is not even that long, but still there's an element of appreciation and understanding of how well you fit one another, understanding that you would want to have something more than just friendship. And the adaptability makes me think about like kind of adapting to the situation, not really acting on it. But if you ask me if like what is gonna be the progress of this, since we have the devil on this and we have 9 of Cups and this talks about the progression here, most likely sooner than later, those feelings of passion, of romantic love will come to the surface. In the meantime, there is an element of adaptability, an element of kind of adapting to how things are at the moment, trying to find the right maybe moments to get clear, like talk this out, as we had the 4th chakra in one of the cards on the back. But also what this adaptability makes me think in regard to how it's placed here. It's placed underneath the devil. So this is, I feel like, the progression of a more farther future, since we also, this major arcana, it talks about relationship developing in the farther future. The adaptability in this case underneath it makes me think about the situation also developing into something new, in a new element and in a new kind of state. So from friendship, for instance, to romance. And that adaptability makes me think about like this relationship adapting to something new, because it's right underneath the devil, which makes me think about this progression going like that, like that. Yeah. So once again, to kind of like wrap it up, and we're gonna add you more cards, but just to get a clear understanding of what we see here, we have a very nice connection, mental connection, understanding, appreciation of one another in terms like friendship vibe, more like platonic. But both of you, most likely one of you stronger, thinks about the potential of this relationship developing into something more romantic and something more passionate. And I see this happening. I'm not quite sure how soon. I'm trying to read on the energy of the timing. It's just very various. I'm not sure, but I do feel like it's sooner than later. That's kind of like how it feels here. With the adaptability, once again, like I feel like this is gonna change. There's already thinking about this change. Maybe it's already happening. You see signs, but you're not sure because we had again the Eight of Swords here. So you might not be sure fully, but it feels like a very smooth progression, and this relationship will escalate to something more sooner than later. Okay, let me get you one more card. This is like very intuitive, so I'm not sure what I'm asking here for from this deck. We'll see, and I'll pick on whatever I pick. Okay, be bold and make the first move. So one of you has to do the first move. One of you has to make that step. And I think this mainly refers to this thinking card. Regardless of gender, one of you guys, or both of you actually, both of you think about one another and the perspectives of this relationship. There's an attraction for both sides, I feel like. But one of you wants to make this bolder move, and I feel like their thought has been preoccupied quite a bit on how to make this change without losing, you know, like with the wisdom that we had in the back of here. Anyways, in the back of one of the decks, they don't want to lose this friendship element, and that's how they just. It takes a lot of courage to come out like and transform and adapt the relationship to something new. So, if that's talking about the other person, just give them time. It's not that easy, but it's happening. I see this happening sooner than later. So here we have it on the back of the Moonology deck. We have. The energy is gaining momentum, so it's happening. It's already in progress. It will happen. And be bold, make the first move. One of you guys will make the first move to come forward with their feelings. Look at the bigger picture. So that was on the other side. So energy gaining momentum, and look at the bigger picture. If you tend to overthink too much about this relationship and how things are, thinking about the details, don't. I know it's easier said than done, but try to kind of like withdraw from the situation a little bit, and you will see that it's getting a little bit lighter, and things that are supposed to happen will happen eventually anyways. So don't overthink it too much. Try to just enjoy the moment, the friendship that is blooming right now, the relationship, whatever this relationship right now is. Keep your acquaintances, friendship, colleagues actually. But there is already an ongoing relationship that is not exactly committed yet, because the Hierophant can also talk about traditionalism, marriage and stuff like that, but I can perceive it in my readings as a commitment too. And this is a very wanted commitment, and there is an element of passion and excitement, but desire. But it needs a little bit of time. I feel like this is happening quite sooner than later. And we already have the signs here. But yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm thinking if I guess I'm gonna get you one more card from the Romance Angel. All the cards here. Oh, it's just popped up. Trust. So just trust the situation. Trust the situation, and things will work out. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So once again, if you, or maybe the other person, but I think mainly refers perhaps to you, think about this too much, maybe even that's referring to you. Think about the details, like of the moments. It's nice to think about the moments. It's nice to just try not to think too much to it and just enjoy the moment of this development as it happens, because things that are supposed to happen will happen, and the situation calls you to have trust, because as we saw on the back of the deck of the Moonology, it will happen. Just the other side needs a little bit of courage, but things are already happening. On the back we have getting to know each other, so probably talking more about your feelings and kind of getting to know the other side of the coin, and chemistry. So both of you, I think there's strong magnetic attraction. You probably feel it. At the very least, if you think it's all in your head, most likely that could be confirmation in this video that it's not, that it's actually going from both sides. So withdraw a little bit, enjoy the situation as it is, and it will unfold. and things actually will change to the best. All right, I'll get you one last message and we'll see then. One last message. Anything that the spirit wants to tell us about this love in the next whichever time frame it refers to. I do expect this to be, oh, home in the sky. Nice. On the back we have the tiny triumphs and Eva. Now Eva can talk about deception. It can also talk about hiding your feelings. So we have here, also devil can talk about deception too, but it can also talk about hiding feelings, since we had a clarification on the back of the deck with the Eight of Swords once again. So now to the main card, home in the sky. First thing first, when I got this card, I had this feeling here that it refers to the situation of how this is going to change, in under which circumstances. And because also, and now I'm looking at the number 5, it makes me think about like, so home in the sky, there's a couple of ways this card can be interpreted, and you're a lot of people, guys, I'm not, it's going to be very individual, but the home in the sky can indicate a transit. So it can be in transit, it can be when you're away from your home in a very short proximity. It doesn't have to be like a field trip to another part of the world. But this card can indicate a small hint that this can happen either way, through the internet, because home in the sky can also talk about the internet, like something that is not, you know, tangible, kind of. But there is like still a connection, but there is like no tangible. I'm so bad at explaining. I hope you know what I mean. Anyways, this can sometimes in my readings indicate internet. Other times can indicate a state of transit, when you move and when you're not basically at home, when you're somewhere, even in a cafe, in a restaurant, at work perhaps. But point is, this situation will change in environment outside of your home, so, or through the internet, while communicating through the internet. For a majority of you, actually I cannot say that because I'm not quite sure. I think it depends on your situation, but it can be through the phone, through internet, or it can be in an element of transit and somewhere outside of your home area. Now take it as it resonates, I guess. No, it's not very specific, but I'm not getting anything else from this. But yeah, that's how it's gonna change. With the birds can also indicate communication, I think. Yeah, once again, communication, like probably coming clear with your feelings to one another. In an element that is outside of your home, in a transit situation, or for some of you, through phone, internet, or it can be both. Take it as it resonates. It can be that you're outside of your home and then you receive a message or a phone call that clears out kind of like the situation and changes it. All right, that was a very specific card, but I hope it was still helpful. And that's kind of it. That's how we conclude today's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of it, what resonated, what didn't. This reading was very specific. It was a very specific situation. There was not much of it was a very specific energy. So if you were not able to resonate with this, I'll have more videos in the future, or perhaps another crystal that caught your eye could be your pile. But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you enjoy your day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of those. And yeah, have a great day. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hello group number 2s, welcome to your reading. So if you chose the opalite stone here, then you're curious to learn all about your love life in the next months, weeks, but basically what's happening next in your love life. So we're doing the shuffling in camera, get cozy, and let's get started. So, group number 2, love life. What's next in love life? This one. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the Lovers. And we have the 10 of Cups. Okay. All right. Also, sorry if the angle of the camera looks really weird. I explained a little bit in the intro, but I forgot my usual stick that holds the camera in the countryside house. So now we're working with what we have. But I hope you can still enjoy it. So, what do we have here? 7 of Wands, Lovers, and 10 of Cups. Right away, the information that I got is that a lot of you could be potentially in an ongoing relationship. Now, whether that's something that just started or was long term, a lot of you could be in a relationship. Now, for the singles of you, I'll go a little bit in detail in a bit. But for the majority, probably has to do with your ongoing relationship. And it feels like there have been a couple of struggles, maybe a couple of arguments in the past time. I mean, which relationship doesn't have it, right? But maybe it feels like you were pushing something that has not been happening in the relationship. Maybe you wanted something. Maybe you wanted this to escalate somewhere else, like to a new stage. It feels like you wanted some sort of progress and you were trying for it. I feel like you were this person basically pushing for it with so much passion, with so much effort. And hey, you know what? It's actually happening. We have the Lovers and we have the Ten of Cups. So this talks to me, like if the Lovers is next to Seven of Wands, it talks to me that this battle of yours has been going inside of the relationship. You were working on this relationship. It could be that you're not official, maybe. That is another message that I'm getting here. That you were just dating, but not really like, not a couple, you know? For others of you, it could be that you're in a relationship, there are ongoing struggles here and there, maybe a couple of fights, misunderstandings, because you want this relationship to get into a new level. Now, here's what I'm seeing though for all of you guys. There have been some struggles ongoing here. For others of you who are single, it could be that you're just struggling with unsuccessful relationships in the past. And then there is a connection that happens and it feels very fulfilled. So there's a commitment happening. So this is actually a relationship developing. So if you are in a relationship, things are getting much better and you escalate to a new stage of commitment. Potentially you could have children or you can plan the further future, like more seriously, you know. For others who are single, it could be that you're meeting a person or it could be, for others of you, I'm getting right now the message that it could be that, you know, don't give up. It kind of this very specific message, don't give up. So it could be, yes, that that you had a couple of unsuccessful relationships in the past. Maybe a slight disappointment here and there. Maybe you have a disappointment in love, some of you. But the point is, like, I'm getting this phrase, don't give up. And then there is this perfect lover, basically. And in this particular situation, I think it needs time until you find this person. But there is a promise here that it's going to be very, very fulfilling, very emotionally granting, and very committed and great relationship. It's not going to be something, you know, just comes and goes. It's going to be committed. It's going to be serious. And it's promised. It's happening. So basically, if you're in a relationship, you escalate to a new stage. There is those arguments just back off. I feel like there's a season of positivity, tenderness, gentleness, romance, and a commitment of a sort. Others of you could be getting a baby. Others of you could discard. It's just a very, very small message, not for all of you, of course, but others of you, for all of you, basically, you're escalating your relationship to a new level. If you're single, you're getting a partner, it's getting committed. In the long term, if you're in a relationship, things are getting better, misunderstandings getting solved. At the very least, there's a more gentle and romantic feeling here, and it kind of shows a more of a committed, next level stage of relationship, and more bonded and fulfilling progression of the relationship, basically. All right, let's get you one of the Wisdom Oracle cards, see what else of the details we can get about your situation. This one just wants to come out. A change in the wind. Okay. On the back we have the yin, the feminine energy, and the unfinished symphony. Okay, so once again the message is kind of like repeating the same. A change in the wind. Notice how this came underneath the Seven of Wands. This makes me think about a change from the struggle situation that you were before, that were you pushing too hard. Were you pushing too hard? Perhaps you were trying too hard in this relationship. Maybe there were some misunderstandings. If you were single, maybe that's just this disappointment from previous unsuccessful relationships. All of this negativity here, or like this discomfort of this basically energy here, it improves, it changes. There is a change in the wind and things are going to change. Now, under which circumstances, we don't have much here. It can be that it's very individual, so we're not getting a clarification here under which circumstances it's getting like changed. But this change definitely brings commitment, a bit more of a closeness within the relationship, brings you a relationship if you are single. And of course, it's going to be more committed like we're having here. Of course, I mean, it's general reading, but it's, from what we can see, it's a committed relationship. It's not just dating. So if it starts like this, it has a promise for something greater in the future. So yeah, a change is in the wind. Let's get you a couple more cards and see what this one. Contract. Now the contract comes through when there's really legal commitment or just commitment. On the back we have the thinking man, and then we have the magician in the mirror. How interesting. Okay, let me elaborate. So this could refer to the other person regardless of the gender. I think that all of those maybe things said, or if you're in a relationship right now, we're going through that scenario. All those things said, all those things done, they remember them and they are thinking of a way, and they're maybe building already plan in their head before they present it to you. The magician and the mirror makes me think primarily of the card in the tarot deck of the magician. And that is about changes, about changing of a critical station, like, you know, those really like major magical changes that just also manifestations. So it can be changes favorable to what you wanted and expected to happen. The contract makes me again think of a commitment, and we're looking at a love reading, so this has nothing to do with job, although it can for some of you. But I'm giving a couple scenarios, but I'm gonna go over it. But basically, this talks about commitment. When we have this underneath the lovers here, it talks about bonding, about getting more closer to one another. It could be that your circumstances changed too. Maybe you were living maybe far from one another. This contract could also indicate legal matters, like you move together. There is a contract that has to be signed. There is a couple of legal procedures when you move together, for instance. This could be it, for instance. It could be that legal changes are influencing how this relationship gets more committed. For a very minority of you, it could be like marriage potential, a proposal. For others of you, it could be moving together. For others of you, it could just indicate a very committed relationship. So there is a progress and it's getting committed, and that's how the contract is portrayed here, basically. But the overall message, once again, repeating myself like a broken record, but we're gonna go so we can make it clear for you. There is a commitment ongoing and happening from a crisis situation. We saw with the magician, something like this person, the opposite party, is thinking about this, and they will make the right decisions. Everything said, everything done, they analyze it to just, you know, if you want more commitment, if you said that you want to move together, all of those details. If that was the case and you felt like you were the only person pushing through, it feels like that was not the case. They're thinking about it. They just wait for the moment until they can present all of their plans and just make it happen, basically. That's how it looks here. Okay, what can I get you? I'll get you the Monology card. No, actually, I'm gonna get you first, we're gonna look at the Goddess Power. So let's look into your situation, and this right away pops up. Ambition. Oh, that's great. On the back we have Death and Magic. Once again, this talks about grand changes. So we have a lot about changes, like something in your relationship changes. If you're single, you're getting a pretty massive change. So you're getting this committed relationship that you wanted, because this 10 of Cups is a very fulfilling feeling. On the back is Radical Acceptance. So Death and Magic and Radical Acceptance. It feels like, yes, something that has been told before, maybe talked about, or there's a decision made here. So there's a lot of changes, couple of decisions, but everything in the long term makes this relationship stronger. The ambition makes me think about like the foresight of it, like there's a long ongoing future. So if you're single, there were a couple of disappointments perhaps, or you felt like you couldn't find the right partner, or maybe things were not working with a love interest that you had in mind. Things change and things get more committed. With this ambition, it talks about the fact that this has a long-term prospect, aside from being underneath right away from the 10 of Cups, which can be interpreted as a family card or more like a commitment card, in terms of emotional commitment, that is. So yeah, that's pretty nice, actually. I'm trying to look at the numbers, maybe you can see something else. Like the 6 talks about balance in all of your areas, so things kind of, maybe in your life circumstances too, things get better. Yeah, things get better, and maybe that impacts your romantic life and gets also like improved, because the 6 is more or less a number that I'm looking at as a balance in a lot of areas of your life. A change in the wind with number 3. If you're single, you could meet the person through social circles, maybe common friends, or just in your workplace, most likely in your workplace or in some social gathering. Social media could be also that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Okay, let's get you another Monology card. Monology cards here can indicate the zodiac sign, it can indicate the time frame. For those who are single, I think it's a bit longer than for those who are in a relationship. So this progress within the relationship happens. The time difference, I don't think it's that big. But we're looking at what's next in your romantic life, right? So this supposedly, it's not supposed to be a very long term, like a long term wait until this progression happens. Okay, let's get you one more card. Let's see what else can we see. It's time to release negativity. Okay, on the back we have a new start is coming, yay! And on the other one, conclusions within reach. This is quite very not fulfilling, but more like wholesome situation here. So some things are concluding, new things are beginning, and there is a lot of changes happening, positive changes that bring you closer and develop this relationship. If you're single or in a relationship that still develops and kind of there's no enough clarity, things are improving, getting better, committed. Now, time to release negativity. This card, whenever this comes, it is what it is. It makes me think about the fact that you just should have more hope, basically. Because this situation, I feel like it refers to this situation here where we began the reading from, where there were negative situations, perhaps a couple of fights, maybe even the disbelief that there is going to be a progression of what you expected from this relationship. For the singles, maybe a disbelief that that you could find the right person, or like maybe a lot of disappointments with previous relationships, or a disappointment within a relationship that develops, but there is something ongoing that's not kind of giving the commitment that you wanted. In any case, all of those scenarios can be implicated here, and it tells you to just release this negativity, because release this thinking and just let the blessings flow in, because we have a progression ongoing here. It's happening. There is a progress coming through. It's a very positive progress. It's a pretty good commitment. It's a person who, at the very least, of course, it's your life to decide, but if this looks this promising, you will give them a chance for a long-term relationship, it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna get you then... Oh, another really important message to mention. We only had one star sign here, that's the Scorpio, so it could be that you or the other person has a Scorpio in your chart, prominently. That could be also Venus, because we're talking about love, so it could be Venus, Sun, Moon, Rising, yours or theirs. Okay, let's see what else can we see. I'm gonna get you one more card from the Romance Angel, this one. Okay, again, stay optimistic about your love life. Right underneath, it's time to release negativity. So the universe, the spirit is telling you to stay optimistic, everything's gonna improve. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I think that, it goes for both sides, both singles and in a relationship. But for the singles, once again, as you can see, things look very, very good. And just stay positive. Don't let the negative thoughts drift you off from your amazing romance that you can have, because the spirit here promises. It's a channel reading, but the spirit here tells you that there is a person coming through. And it's nice relationship if you give it a chance. Now we had flirt on one side and pay attention to the red flags on the other one. So the red flags, this card can sometimes talk about situations. So basically, let me elaborate, because I'm getting a lot of messages here. When the red flags come through, it usually comes in a situation where we're trying to just find a person. If we're if you're single and you're looking for a person, this is a caution that just be careful, don't get dragged just on the first person that doesn't serve you right, or it's just very the situation doesn't serve you right, or this person that doesn't feel right to you. Pay attention to the red flags, just don't get, I'm getting this message, just don't get, how to phrase this in English, swayed basically by a person that doesn't feel right to you. Just because you really are tired of looking for the right person, or that's kind of the information I'm getting here. And this is the best I could use in words to put this phrase that I had in my mind. Kind of how to phrase it, just, yeah. The right person will come. Don't fall in despair. Don't be careful of toxic relationships around, because I feel like there have been a couple of disappointments within a couple of, there have been a couple of disappointments. If you're single with relationships, or with generally with dates, maybe people that you met. So yeah. And flirt. There's gonna be a little bit of flirting going. This is a natural given, since we're looking at a romantic right now outcome. Since I forgot to mention there's not much platonic ongoing here, I just right away went to romance. We're looking at romance here. Yeah, I guess that was quite obvious. But yeah, flirt. There's not much to say. This situation, you will have a nice flirting going. I feel like it's gonna develop quite nicely. There's a really positive energy here. Committed, nice, loving. It's a very pleasant energy. It's very contrasting to this here. And notice how this like gives you two cards, well, this gives you one card, right? It can also talk about the fact that this situation will occupy much more of your time than this conflicting of a sort of situation that we looked at the beginning of the reading. Also, we have the Lovers as a major arcana card. Major arcana cards can also indicate long-term progress. So yeah, we're looking at something that can actually last. Last but not least, one message that I'm gonna get you from here. It can be anything. I think I'm getting like slowly drifted off from the messages, so I'm just gonna still try and get you one card here. Yeah, this one. The keys on the tree. Nice. On the back we have the white rose of hope. So how hope, the situation has hope, and then the treasured memories. Oh. That's about the situation. Let's go to the main card. The keys on the tree. This card, whenever it comes through, it makes me think that the solution is just right there in the grasp of your, well, hand, in your case, in the grasp of your hand. So to just release, change the situation, bring the change, it's very close. It either depends on you, or the station's really close. This can talk about the fact that this solution is there. So if you thought that you will never meet the person, you're single, basically it's there. It will happen in the perfect timing. Or if you thought that, you felt like there's nothing moving, there's like no resolution within a relationship, that you want something to move to a certain direction, it doesn't go, the key is already there. It's just a matter of short probably time, because when this card comes through, it kind of makes me think about that it's already happening. It's there. The solution is there. Sooner than later, it's happening. So, keys in the tree makes me think about a solution that will bring this really beautiful committed relationship here, and it's there. You can't miss it. It's there and it will happen. So don't worry. Don't worry. Everything looks incredible here. So yeah, that's kind of it. I know it was really abrupt ending, but I kind of felt like I was not getting any more messages. Felt a little bit tired. So if you enjoyed this reading, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. But that is for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what resonated, what didn't. And I'm wishing you a great day, and I'll be seeing you in my next readings. Bye! Hello, group number 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful clear quartz, then this is the reading about your love life and what's happening next in that segment of your life. Now, we are not limited to romantic love. We're gonna look at everything that pops up. So far, we had romantic love mainly in the previous piles, but you never know. You never know. Maybe we get platonic connections here too. In any case, we're going very spontaneous as usual, very intuitive, and I'll just mention what I'm feeling. That being said, let's start. Get cozy and let's look at your love life. All right, group number 3s. Love life, this one. The moon. The star. And the 5 of Wands. Okay. Let's see what we have on the back. On the back we have the Queen of Pentacles and then the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, here's what I'm seeing. It feels like you're a very wholesome person, so you know exactly who you want. You know exactly who you want, you have an idea, you try maybe even to manifest that person, but because with the moon, it feels like so far you cannot see the person right there in front of you. It could be that among those 5 of Wands here, and I'll elaborate a little bit more, but among those 5 of Wands, this person could be there. But because we have the moon, it usually indicates, in some readings, in this case, how I'm interpreting it, is that you're not just finding and seeing that person. So you're hoping for that person, you know exactly what you want, you know your worth, you know who you want, and I think you also potentially have a lot of admirers. Sorry guys, there was a phone call. Well, a lot of admirers that we were looking at, so it could be that there's a lot of admirers are gonna be through the internet, phone calls, texting, you know, mainly through your phone that they're gonna contact you. But I feel like you have a lot of admirers. I feel like whether you know about them or not, it feels like you know they are there, but just like you don't notice them. Just there's not the right one, you know. I feel like this feeling that they're not the right one, and I feel a very wholesome energy from you. Also, with the Queen of Pentacles makes me think about this wholesome energy. Like you feel, and I don't feel like you're feeling very bad being single, because I'm reading on the single energy right now. So a lot of you potentially could be single. So for the singles of you, I don't feel particularly that you're feeling very, you know, disbalanced or sad for being single. It's just you're manifesting and waiting for the right person. So I feel like you're feeling very comfortable in your own skin, to put it that way, I guess. At the same time, I feel like you have a lot of admirers. There's a lot of people who show interest in you, just, you know, they just don't do it the right way you would hope for, or they're not just the one, and you just can kind of feel that they're not the ones. So with the moon here, it makes me think about like just expectation, waiting for this person, but not yet meeting them, and kind of hoping that, you know, there's a very optimistic feeling. You just know that they will come. You just know you can manifest them. You just feel that they are someone there. And because you don't feel pressured by, because I do feel like that, and I'm not sure how many of you can resonate, but the energy here is strong of this fulfillment, of a sudden fulfillment, or wholesomeness. Yeah, that's the word. Wholesomeness. You feel, you have admirers, you know your worth, and you know who you want, and you're trying to manifest that person. That's how it feels. Okay, let's get you one card and see how this progresses. No place like home. Nice. We have Unfinished Symphony and Chaos and Conflict. Now the Chaos and Conflict and Unfinished Symphony could be just a lot of things happening at the same time in your home situation. At the same time, I feel like we're still very peaceful energy here. So it could be that the Chaos and Conflict about the situation could refer to those admirers, those people that just show their affection, or at the very least they show their interest. But I feel like you don't even notice them to a certain point, because they're just not the ones. No place like home. Now the manifestation, I feel like, because it came under the moon, so there's element of daydreaming. I'm looking at this card. The moon doesn't necessarily talk about daydreaming, but in this card, just something about this card here makes me think about daydreaming, manifesting, thinking about this perfect person, and potentially you could be doing this at home at night. Maybe the manifestation you're doing is basically in the second part of the day, second half of the day, in the evenings. As in terms of your love life in the soonest future, there are gonna be a couple of interests popping in, but I feel like you're still gonna be trying and seeing and choosing and waiting still for the right one. And I feel like there is a manifestation coming through. I feel like there is a person that will come through. So it will happen, just as usual, really not liked phrase, but it needs time. Oh, this one. Yeah, okay, talking about manifestation, here we are. We have the Magician and the Mirror. On the back we have Door to Spirit. This can talk about the conversations we had here. Conversations, action, Door to Spirit. Okay, so a lot of people, admirers and so on, might reach to you through the internet, potentially social media, phone calls, like basically through your phone, when you hold your phone. And when I'm seeing the Door to Spirit, it makes me think about those admirers here and about the fact that they can contact you through the internet. That's one message. But since this talks about the situation here, another message is that your manifestation is already in action, because we have the action card here, and the Door to Spirit can also talk about a little spirituality and kind of like opening up, that something opens up in a spiritual realm. Basically, manifestation is coming true of a sort in action. That's how it feels. And why I'm talking about manifestation is that because the Star card here, with the Magician and the Mirror, which makes me primarily think always about the Magician card from the Tarot deck, indicates a change. And that change is usually, like, the Magician always makes me think about manifestation, well, most of the time about manifestation. And, oh, did I mention we have number 5 at home, so this changes, this manifestation, once again, I said, like, you're doing them at home, right? So this change kind of happens in the comforts of your home. You're trying to manifest this person where you're at home in more relaxed state, probably in the later part of the day for a lot of you. The Magician in the mirror, you're trying, waiting for this person and manifesting it, and I see manifesting them, manifesting them, and I see with the Adored Spirit and the action card that it's in action. It will be happening, and you know what? I think you have this peacefulness here about you, that like, there's this peacefulness that makes me think that, you know, you're not in a hurry to get in a relationship. You're not in a hurry to find a partner. You're very selective, and it feels like very wholesome. Like, you don't feel, you just want the right person, and you're given the time to receive that person. So you're manifesting them and you're attracting them, and it's actually happening. All right, let me get you one more card. Goddess Power, Oracle cards, and we'll get you one more card about your situation. This one. Create a spark. On the back we have the in-between and the rebirth. Okay. Another message that I'm getting here, since we've gotten the creative spark and also the number 8s are prominent. I don't know, like I noticed number 8 here, and also we have number 8 here. It can talk about birthday too, by the way, now I'm getting this information. Some of you, it could indicate the birthday, either yours or the other person's. I can really tell here for sure. The 5 of Wands can also talk about being busy and being competitive and being kind of like in your environment. The Wands in general can talk about creativity. So when we have the creative spark, it could be that you're just focusing on some creative hobbies maybe, or your work involves something creative. So you kind of, you know, focus on yourself, focus on your life. You're not really putting too much despair, I guess, and emphasis on trying to find just a person, because you want that right one. You want that right one. You're probably tired of getting those in-between relationships, and you just want the right one, and it's happening, it's manifested, and you know it deep inside. If you're not sure if you know it, probably deep inside you know it's happening. With their person, it makes me think that it will come through. So in between can also indicate that this, like, it's happening, but it's not yet there, you know, it's in progress, because this is how it feels here, that there's a manifestation in progress, and a little bit of self-focus, and feel fulfilled regardless of having a romantic relationship or not. On another note, in terms of platonic connections, I feel like you have a couple of friends that are really appreciative of you. Like, you have, I think, at least some of you have like friends that you're very close with, and you kind of feel very fulfilled in terms of your, I don't know, I'm just looking at the star, it makes me think about very wholesome energy. You feel wholesome, and then I'm thinking also about how the cards were on the back of the deck when we were shuffling these. In terms of platonic connections, I feel like we don't have that much here, but from the wholesomeness here, I feel like your social circle is also very in a good state. It's very prosperous. I feel like there's going to be really good connections, but I also feel like there's going to be a little bit of hassle here and there in your work environment too. I think you're a pretty busy person, but you actually also enjoy this business. That can be a message for some of you. There's a lot of messages. I'm not quite sure which resonates with who. Just take whatever resonates. It's a lot of information that I'm getting here. Okay, I rearranged a little bit here in the space so it looks a little bit better visually, because we have a different setting today. I mentioned it in the intro, but also like mentioned here, I forgot my stick that holds my camera, so now we have a different sort of setting. Anyways, that's irrelevant. Let's get to your messages. So let's look into your Numerology cards. We can get any information here. They can be star sign, they can be your dates approximate, also could be that, or you can talk about the situation like you did in previous piles. Hold your vision. So have faith and keep on going. On the back we have believe in the impossible, and personal issue reaches resolution. So when the Cancer energy, the full moon in Cancer, makes me think about like completion cycles in terms of relationships, because Cancer energy in general makes me think about relationships. Now, believe in the impossible and the full moon in Cancer makes me think that this person will happen. Just have faith, hold your vision, and you know, kind of getting this message, just keep on doing what you're doing. Everything you do and follow your intuition, like just follow your intuition. It will guide you to your right path, because the stars sometimes can also indicate to me intuition. I know mainly you would get this with the Hierophant or water basically energy. But I do feel like also the stars sometimes in my readings can talk about intuition. So I feel like just, I feel like telling you that just to follow your intuition, and everything that you do, as far as you follow your intuition, is right, and they will come. I feel like there is a manifestation in action, so this person will appear, they will come. All right, let me get you a couple of Romance Angel Oracle cards, and let's see what else can we see with your situation. We have the let go of control issues, finances, career, and attraction. You attract romantic love by fully enjoying this moment. And then we have financial issues that are a factor in your love life right now. So yes, you might actually be focusing on your finances, on your career. It could be something creative. You could also talk about your hobby actually. But I feel like there is a creative element here that you put your focus on yourself and your career. Now, the let go of control issues could potentially talk that you're trying maybe even too hard. I think you're a pretty good natural manifester, so this is already happening. Just asks you to withdraw a little bit from the situation, and things will come and flow, and as this should be. So how is it here? Allow the situation to unfold naturally, right? So the trick with the manifestation is that you just let your message there, your intention there, and in order for it to happen, just withdraw from it occasionally and focus on yourself. So maybe you're trying to control a lot of things in your area, a lot of things in your life, a lot of things in your life, a lot of things in your career perhaps, and that also can be a factor that you're trying to control your romantic life. Also, like all those connections that you now need. It's really good to know your worth, and you're doing this fabulously, but just let the situation a little bit unfold naturally. So when we manifest something, just withdraw a little bit from it to take action and step into your life one by one, because I feel like it's already happening. It looks like here from the cards what we saw so far that the manifestation is taking action. It just needs time, and it will step in and give you the right person in the right moment. So hold your vision, let go of control issues, follow your intuition. That's another thing that I'm getting here, another message that I'm getting here. And it feels like the person who you want to come in your life will come. Now let's get you one last message. It can be anything. This is a very free to interpretation reading in general. But let's see what else can we see from the last card here. The gift. Ah, that's sweet. And we also have number 5 if you add 2 and 3. On the back we have the red garden, and then like a bird. Okay, more 8s by the way here. I don't know why the 8 really stands out to me, but anyways. The gift. The gift can talk about an unexpected encounter happening in your life, something popping up from nowhere, most likely driven by the universe, but this makes me think about your manifestation. So it will happen. I can't really tell how long it will take, but so far in the near future, in terms of your romantic life or your love life, we see more of a progression of your manifestation, that you're trying to attract the right person for yourself. I don't know if I mentioned it, I'm not quite sure. I'm looking at the star and thinking about Aquarius energy. So you or the other person who will get attracted eventually with this manifestation might be an Aquarius, because this has been popping into my mind all this time and I didn't address it even once, so I decided to do it right now. So Aquarius energy could be Venus, Moon, Rising, or Sun. You or the other person. But it has to be prominent. I feel like it's a prominent area. Anyways, and the gift makes me think about like that manifestation coming true. So there is a potential, it's happening. We saw the action happening on the back of the cards, of the decks that we shuffled. It is happening, it will happen. So yeah, everything that you do, you're doing right. Just follow your intuition and let go, withdraw a little bit, focus on other things, focus on yourself. What is yours will be yours. I guess you know it. All right, but that's it for today. I think that's it, yeah. That's it for today, that's all the messages you can see. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Let me know in the comment section below what resonated, what didn't. Feel free to like, subscribe, that really helps the channel, that motivates me to make more content for you. But yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next videos, and until then, have a wonderful day. Bye! Hello group number 4, so welcome to your reading. So if you chose the rose quartz here, then this is your reading about your love life and what is happening next in that area of your life. Today is usually going to be very intuitive and spontaneous. We're just gonna read on what we see, and also it's really open to interpretation. So it means like we can have a look in romantic love, we can also have a look at the platonic love. To be fair, so far we had only romantic love, but we're still open to any possibilities. Whatever the spirit wants to tell us, we'll see it here. So get cozy and let's get started. So grouping 4. All right, that was really fast. We have the Strength. We have the 8 of Swords, which just popped down. And this one. We have the Magician. And the 6 of Wands. On the back, we have the 4 of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. And for some reason, the way they came, I think it was like this because it's dropped first. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that there's a situation, most likely, because judging from the backwards card here, we have the 4 of Swords and we have the 2 of Pentacles. So they might have been a couple of jungling here and there, perhaps with unsuccessful dating, maybe within a relationship that already is happening. There was a confusion, not enough clarity. So if you are in a relationship, this is how it looks like. Your relationship will get stronger sufficiently, and there's going to be a big change. It's going to like triumphantly lead things through. Because the 6 of Wands talks about triumphs, the Magician talks about like manifestation too, but also like really big changes, desire changes, like a crisis situation changing. And I'm thinking that how it looks here. So there was a situation, and we're going to see a little bit more what the situation could be. But there was a situation that made you feel stuck and not have enough clarity. And as it goes, I think with the Strength, you receive more clarity, and then kind of things change, and they change to a very optimistic, uplifting outcome. So if you're in a relationship, how this can look like is that perhaps there's more bonding, more understanding in the situation within your relationship. Perhaps circumstances that make you feel confused and stuck in a certain area. And why I'm saying stuck is because we have as the 4 of Swords on the one side and the 2 of Pentacles on the other one. In the combination of those 2 cards, which technically is supposed to explain the situation, makes me think about like things that kind of you were jungling through things and not being able to kind of move forward. You felt very confused, like feeling like a lot of hustles happening, but nothing is really moving, and there's like a confusion element. That's how it feels where we start from. But I feel like with the Strength here, we'll see what that means, but it could be that you receive more information. It could mean that you receive more insights, or just things clear out somehow, because the Magician card is a card that comes with a lot of twists and surprises. It can be a manifestation card too, that things that you desired finally come to life. And because we have the 6 of Wands, the Triumph. So basically how it looks like is that within a relationship, or if you're single, whichever the situation was, there is something changing that makes it stronger. So if we're talking about a relationship right now, your relationship is going to get significantly stronger and escalate to a different level. So it's going to be some triumphs. Perhaps things that you wanted to rework in your relationship will come true, will happen. We'll start taking action where you felt before that you were confused and were not sure what it's heading towards to, or you were not sure how things will work out in the future. They just do. Because the Magician card is just a card that just tells you that, you know, the change is happening, but it just does. It's a card that has the potential to change a challenging situation. It has the potential to change a situation that felt stuck, a situation that was a crisis, and just like really give it an incredible twist and change and bring the positive impact into it. Okay, if you are not in a relationship, it feels like you've been jungling a lot in your life then, because there's some sort of hustle and confusion ongoing and not moving anywhere. If you are single, it feels like you are receiving some sort of clarity in terms of like you feel more clear and stronger as a person on your own. And then there's also some positive changes happening. So this could be that the relationship steps in once you're kind of clear out your own energy in your own life a little bit, because it feels like there is something that confuses you and you feel stuck at some point, but at the same time it feels like you're jungling just too much on your shoulders. So there's a stuck situation, confusion situation, and then you're just taking care of a lot of things at the same time. It could be within a relationship if you're in a relationship, and things just clear out. And it could be that the progress you're trying to jungle and there was like no progress, it just happens. So if you were working on a specific aspect of your relationship, it just happens. Now, I would suggest we just go to directly to oracle cards because I want to see the details. There's a lot of generic themes here, and I can't really give you the specifics just yet. So let's see, what else can we see? We have the poised, okay. I'll get you one more from here. And the new life. It's interesting. Oh, in the back we have the message in the bottle and the never-ending story. So this again makes me think about what we saw on the deck of the Tower cards. The Four of Swords, which is basically no action, no movement, kind of feeling stuck, and never-ending story. Never-ending story is a card about like not things not changing, but also at the same time just like you do, but nothing is really happening, or patterns repeating, those kind of situations. And that makes me feel this energy of those two cards combined. So there might be some news that come through, and there will be very positive news. I feel like there's a lot changing, not just your romantic life and your probably your platonic connections too, but there's like a grand change here, a pretty major change that I can't really put my finger around what exactly that is. But it is a positive change because we have the poise and the new life. So something is really taking a twist and a turn in a positive direction. And that unclarity, that confusion is just getting off. It just disappears. Moreover, since we have, I took you 4 cards. I got you 4 cards, not like 3 as the usual, as the previous piles. But if you look at the cards, the confusion part is it's just one card. It doesn't have much emphasis on it, and the clarification cards on the bottom don't even mention anything related with that. And yet later on, we have like 3 cards that talk about this positive change. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that the positive changes are going to be something that's going to last time-wise longer than the struggle or this confusion that you're going through. So don't worry, this is just temporary energy. Not even the oracle cards were able to clarify and specify on this confusion, because we got something that has to do with your new development. Now let's get you one more card. I will refer back to it. I just need a little bit more clarity. Door to Spirit. Okay. On the back we have the Moon, again about Goddess of the Moon. Again about not enough clarity. And the other side, Angel of Love. For a lot of you, what I'm feeling here is that the situation is something that dragged on for a while. It could be a relationship that is already ongoing and things have not been that clear. It could be just a connection with somebody, not an actual developed relationship, but a connection with somebody, and you feel like there's no progress, so you try like to juggle a couple of feelings at the same time, but there's like no, you feel confused, the situation doesn't move. Maybe there was a halt of a situation in that particular case. Maybe there was a break of a sort if you were in a relationship with this person, but I feel like something was dragging or occupying your mind a lot. If you're single and you really have no one in mind, which I think is for the minority of you, this could talk about your life situation in general in that case. But as we saw on the back of the deck on the front, we had the Moon and then the Angel of Love. So there's a little bit of confusion about your romantic life. So if you are in a relationship, it feels like something clears out. There's a new big change happening, a new life. The Magician can indicate really big changes. So we have 2 major arcana cards which indicate long-term influence of those changes. All 3 cards are very optimistic and positive, and then they indicate a situation getting stronger, more secure, a big change that kind of secures it, makes that security happen, and a triumphal feeling about it because it's a positive change. So it feels like, because it's a lot of energies, I can't really talk about one specific situation, but what I'm feeling here is that this refers to your specific situation that is challenging in your relationship. So if you're in a relationship and you felt confused, something was off, you had a lot of thoughts, because this is mainly thoughts energy, right? And the Four of Swords is also thoughts energy. So something that you wanted to make it into action, it kind of halted, it didn't really move. So whatever that could be, it changes, it gets stronger. There's a really big manifestation change here. It's something that you wanted actually does finally step into action. It can be as small as like, there's a lot of energies. It can be something small basically, but it can also be something major. I do feel with the Magician, it's usually major changes because we have the new life and Poised. The Poised has a similar energy to Six of Wands, basically an element of triumph, of winning, of like getting your feeling on top of your game of sort. Okay, let me get you one more card. I haven't elaborated on this one, right? We have changes again. And remember we saw messages on the back of one of the deck. Oh, which one was it? Oh yeah, we had it on the Wisdom Oracle cards here. Message in a bottle. So this message actually might come. There's some sort of news, some clarification, maybe something that has to do with your situation. I feel like it involves the situation within your relationship. So there's gonna be some news that's gonna come within through the internet, most likely in this case. This can also indicate manifestation because it's right underneath the Magician. So it indicates both, I think. It has a connection here. So there is a new stage that you step into within this relationship. And it comes through something that you desire, something that you try to manifest, something that you thought about a lot and confused you because it felt that there was no progress. It happens, it comes into action, the manifestation changes. We have number 5 here. And it feels like a very positive change that also strengthens your situation. So if it's talking about relationship, your relationship gets stronger, more committed. Perhaps you make some new changes within a relationship. Maybe you relocate, I don't know, you start working on a common goal within your relationship, because it feels like a structure here changes within. In terms of if you're a single person, you don't have anyone in mind at the moment, this reading mainly impacts your overall life. I feel like there's not much emphasis on love here as much as in overall, because those changes happen in the situation. It feels like it changes the situation, and if you're looking inside of a relationship, it changes your situation within the relationship. If you're single, there is an element of love because we had it on the back of one of the decks, but it feels like those changes are happening within your life actually. And I feel like within those changes, something will happen. You might receive news, some situation that you felt confused about gets stronger. Within that change, you actually meet the person. This is how I'm seeing this. Okay, yeah. Because this is a situation involvement here. Within a relationship or within your life, if you're single, that will lead to meeting that person in the process. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten these cards. Okay, I think I'm gonna get you the Romance Angel Oracle cards. Get you any extra messages. You deserve love. You're lovable. Now this, I had in mind the singles. I just somehow was thinking of the singles when I was looking at this. On the back we have the very soon and then the honeymoon. But in any case, here's what I'm getting here. This is definitely about the singles. I'm feeling like there is a message of encouragement coming through to you guys, that you deserve love, you will get that love, it's coming to you, and the very soon. And the honeymoon can be also in a situation of movement too, of change. And the honeymoon here in this situation, in combination with everything we have here, makes me think that in some sort of transit, when you do the change, when you change the situation, when there's something that is right now not moving, you're thinking a lot about this, like you're feeling very confused. When this situation changes, you will meet that person. Most likely even through communication through the phone, could be, yeah. Within the new environment somehow, or you will get clarity through that. If you are in a relationship, there is a new stage ongoing, and it will happen in a very near future. It's sooner than later, basically. I can't really tell exact months here because you guys are individual, but it's sooner than later, basically. And we have the honeymoon and very soon. Now, this in this case makes me think about honeymoon being the situation of resolution. So there is a situation resolving inside of your relationship for those who are in a relationship, and it's happening very soon as well. It's a situational change in both cases, but one will bring a lover in, the other one will just develop the relationship into a new stage. Interesting. Okay, I think I forgot one. Oh yeah, I wanted to get you one of the goddess power. All right, let's get you one of these. Really? What a mess. Let's try it again. Let's get you one of these Goddess Power Oracle cards, and right away this one pops up. Assurance. Lovely. The assurance card is always good to see. It means that if whatever question you had in mind when you click this video, worry or those worries that we looked at here, there's an assurance that it will change. And as we can see here, the time of this positive change impacts your life much greater and much longer than this thoughts and worries and confusion here. And also it assures you that this this change is going to be positive and there's going to be progress. So whatever self-doubt you had about the situation, take this card as a confirmation that don't worry, things will work out. Also, we have number 1, it's about new beginnings. So assurance can also, in this case, talk about the fact that this new beginning that happens, this new stage, this change that happens, this new life for some of you guys, it's going to be very secure because we have the strength here. It's going to be very, very long-lasting, secure, and even better that we have like this element of like improvement, like there's energy of improvement here. On the back we have the past, and on the other side we have the generosity. So yeah, something about the past. Maybe it could be relocations, actually. It could be moving to a new place. It could be moving jobs. It could be within the relationship, just moving together. There's so many scenarios because this is a situational change within a relationship or a situational change within your life if you're single. That's going to bring you closer to the person who you're supposed to meet. And this is assurance for the singles of you that this person will come, and you deserve love, you're lovable, and circumstances will lead to that situation. Right, Monology cards. Now, with the Monology cards, I'm not quite sure what we're gonna see. Now, it can be a zodiac sign, it can be, it's really free to interpretation, basically. We'll see what we see. And I'm just getting drawn to this one. A new start. Well, new life, assurance of a new life, the magician, manifestation energy taking place here, and then a new start. On the back, we have don't let the pride get in your way, and a time for healing. Okay. So I think whatever those emotions that you had before, it's just this new situation is going to be very healing, and it's going to be, there is not much negativity to say. I mean, every situation has ups and downs, right? But there's a lot of positive changes coming through. Situational changes, once again. Within your relationship or within your life, that's going to bring you closer to your lover, future lover. I feel like I'm talking like a broken record. Anyways, just bear with me. Let me just rearrange this real quick. I have no idea how it looks in the camera. I cannot see the camera. I really hope the sound is even there. Proper. Just had to forget that white stick that holds the camera, right? Oh well. Okay. And yeah, the new start's coming with the new moon, so new beginnings, new life is coming. Something majorly transformative is coming through because the magician is pretty major. It's a major card. It impacts the farther future alongside with the strengths. It's also a major arcana card. So there's something that it comes there to stay. It's a change that comes there to stay. It's long term. It's a very positive for you. We have the 6 of Wands. It's a new start. It's some sort of new great beginning. And it's there to stay, and also tells you that it's happening. So don't worry, those worries are temporary, because look at all of those cards and then just a small part of the worry, right? Like a small tiny part here with the worrying. What's yet to come will be taking much bigger and more better part of your life than this little worries here, which I'm not discrediting the worries. We all have worries that are pretty credible and significant. We all have the right to worry, but I'm just saying that the future is the good future, the positive future. In contrast to those worries, it's going to be much more stronger there, longer there, lasting, yeah, impacting more. Okay, let's get you one last card, something that can tell us a little bit more about the situation, or maybe just clarify again or confirm things. So, change of seasons. Right, another change is coming, right? On the back we have the stranded, which is about confusion, about getting off your path and feeling stuck. We also have force, but not force is about stability, but sometimes can also indicate stuckness. And then the elixir of life, coming back to life, new life, change of seasons. So yeah, it's basically we got a confirmation. We got a confirmation of the fact that there is something changing. There is a massive change happening. Always these energies here feel so major, so I will just say it depends on your situation. It can be super major, it can be, but it does feel like big changes, so impactful, let's call it like this. They feel like impactful changes because they impact a pretty long-term future, and with all this like new life here, change of seasons, like elixir of life, it's very impactful to your life. That's how it feels. I'm not even sure if this is in the camera. Yes, the arrangement today is a little bit but anyways, so yeah, I think that's it. I'm not getting any more messages, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the reading. Let me know in the comment section below what resonated, what didn't. Also, feel free to like, subscribe. It really helps the channel, motivates me to make more content for you. I think I'm gonna make a poll soon, just asking, either way, suggesting topics or asking you guys which topics you would like to suggest, and then just go through it and then make videos that you would enjoy. Because I have a lot of topics in my head, but I'm not quite sure if that would be your thing, so we'll do that. It's something to come in the future. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoy this reading. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in my next readings. Bye!